Silver is moving again, and it's moving fast. Prices are jumping and extreme targets are being mentioned. Numbers that sound unreal, even reckless. But this video is not about whether those numbers are right. It's about why they are being said at all. When markets talk like this, something fundamental underneath is shifting. Let's be clear. The system is not under pressure because it is failing in the traditional sense. It is under pressure because it is trying to satisfy too many impossible conditions at once. For decades, the global system relied on a perfect trinity: low inflation, cheap energy, and geopolitical stability. This combination made everything feel effortless. You could order a product from across the world, and it would arrive in days at a minimal cost. But today, that foundation has cracked. Energy is no longer just a commodity you buy on the open market. It has become a political weapon. Whether it's natural gas in Europe or oil in the Middle East, energy is now about leverage, not just price. Supply chains no longer chase efficiency, they chase control. The just-in-time model has been replaced by just-in-case. We are moving production back to expensive allied nations because trust has become more valuable than a low price tag. And inflation? It doesn't fall back to 2% easily because the very cost of keeping the world running has fundamentally increased. The system now faces a brutal trade-off. It wants low prices, it wants cheap energy, and it wants total geopolitical control. But it cannot have all three. If you want control, you must pay for expensive domestic energy. If you want low prices, you must surrender control to cheaper foreign suppliers. One of these pillars has to give. That tension, that grinding friction, is what pressure really means. Pressure is not a sudden collapse. Pressure is the moment when systems stop trying to be perfect and start trying to survive. They stop optimizing for profit and start preserving their options. This is why unusual choices are returning to the global stage. Uncomfortable suppliers, expensive, dirty energy sources, assets that sit outside of paper promises. We aren't choosing them because they are ideal. We are choosing them because the easy options are gone. Think about why Venezuela is suddenly back in the conversation. It's not because their political situation has become perfect. It's because the system is so starved for options that it is forced to reach back into places it once rejected. Venezuela isn't a solution, it's an emergency option. And when a system starts reaching for its emergency options, you know the pressure is reaching a breaking point. This brings us to silver. Why does silver keep appearing at the center of this pressure? Because silver is the only asset that sits exactly at the intersection of industrial necessity and monetary trust. On one hand, our energy transition, solar panels, electric vehicles, 5G networks, is physically built on silver. As we try to build energy independence, the demand for silver rises regardless of the price. It is a mandatory industrial material. On the other hand, silver is a physical limit. When confidence in paper money and digital promises weakens, people look for something they can hold, something that the government cannot print more of. Silver reacts to both. It feels the industrial pull and the monetary push. That dual role makes it the most sensitive nerve ending of the global economy. When you see silver price targets hitting $100, $200, or $500, you aren't looking at a prediction. You're looking at a stress test. Extreme price targets feel like answers. They are not. They are reactions. They tell you how tense the global conversation has become, not necessarily what will happen next Tuesday. This is where most people get it wrong. They treat these targets as conclusions. They are actually symptoms. Silver is not a crystal ball. It is a signal. The signal isn't that the world breaks tomorrow. The signal is that the era of effortless stability is over. When a system feels easy, no one talks about backup plans. When a system feels tight, backup options like silver, like energy independence, like new alliances move to the very center of the stage. That is the phase we are in. Not panic, not collapse, pressure. Pressure doesn't tell you exactly what will break. It tells you that the old way of doing things is no longer an option. It tells you that change is coming, not by choice, but by necessity. The question isn't, how high will silver go? The question is, are you ready for the world the signal is pointing to?